Hi guys! Normally today I would be doing a tutorial, but I've got a case of YouTuber's block. I have no idea what to do. So if I think of something, I'll record a tutorial later tonight, maybe tomorrow. But just so I can get something up for you guys, I actually decided to raid Dollar Tree again. I actually walked out with about $20 worth of stuff. So I figured I would come on here and show you the goodies that I found at Dollar Tree. I found a lot of LA Colors, which is their usual thing. They either have the Profusion or they'll have LA Colors. They just had a crap ton of LA Colors. And they had a couple things from e.l.f. So, one of the things from e.l.f. was their liquid eyeliner. The only thing I don't like about these is that the little bottles are actually super small, so I picked up 2 of these just because my one Maybelline eyeliner is starting to get kind of dry, so I think I'm going to have to chuck it before too long. That or it's just getting empty. I don't know which. And they actually had these, and they are the LA Colors Bold Eyes. They had, I think, 5 or 6 different little mini palettes of these. This one is called Daring. And what prompted me to really try these out was where I picked up those 3 marbleized eyeshadows from ColourPop Cosmetics recently. These had that same speckled / marbleized effect, which I thought was just kind of really neat, because the way they blend, it just forms some really neat colors. So I'm going to see if the LA Colors versions are any better, or if they're comparable, so to speak. That little sticker off my finger. And as I open these up for you guys, if I can get them to cooperate with me, the little sponges are going away. This one has some really unusual colors to it. Let's see, it's got kind of like this grayish purple with yellow. Underneath it, it's got kind of a lavender and pink. This one's kind of gold and blue. One underneath it is blue and pink. This one I thought was really neat. It's black and turquoise. And then there was this one, which was kind of a plum and green. I'm anxious to figure out what kind of color that's going to produce. These will need a base, from what I can tell, because there's not a lot of pigment. I thought these were going to be a bit more bold than they are, at least in this one. I'm going to try the one underneath it, the black and turquoise. That one actually has some decent pigment. But you don't really get that turquoise shift to it, though, which is kind of disappointing. I need to figure out a better spot for my lamp with my new setup in my office. This just doesn't seem like it's working for me. But I will fix that momentarily. For now, I just want to get all these done, and then I can reposition my lamp, possibly. This one is called Intense. It's again with the LA Colors Bold Eyes. Should have probably grabbed me a little trash bag. This one seems like it's all shades of pinks, purples, and grays. Spongy, bye-bye. I'm really not happy with this lighting. Hang on just a second. I want to see if I can find a better angle. Sorry about that, guys. It took me a bit to actually find a somewhat better degree of lighting. I'm going to have to move my lamp altogether, but I'm going to need my boyfriend's help to do that because he's the one who set everything up. So I'm going to let him find a place for it. I don't know where I'm going to put it yet, but I'll find somewhere. In the meantime, I've got it aimed right at me, but I've got a piece of paper clipped to it with some binder clips just to kind of diffuse it a little bit. So it'll work for now, I think. Anyway, picking up with the LA Colors Bold Eyes in Intense. These seem like they have more like the grays and the purples and the pinks. However, this little silvery one right here has just a hint of blue to it. It's like a barely blue silver with white flecks. Then you got the purple with the off-white down here. You got kind of a fuchsia with a baby pink. However, this one is a neutral, but it is a pink tone neutral. And it seems like it's got maybe like some gunmetal flecks in it. And then this one up here, it's more of a beige with the same colored flecks as this one. But when I tried the black and turquoise one out of here, now that I actually have somewhat better lighting, you can see it just comes out more straight black. It doesn't have a shift or anything like that. I think these little flecks are just for looks in the package. They don't seem to influence the colors, which is kind of disappointing. But I will try this little purple one here in the center. Has some decent pigment. This one seems like it might have a little bit of a pink shift. Yeah, it actually seems like it does have a little bit of a pink shift. Just nothing, you know, over the top like I was hoping. But it is a pretty color all the same. So far, I'm kind of on the fence about these. The next one, pardon me, this one is Flashy. And just given the variety of colors that are in this one, I could see why they call it Flashy. It's got the greens, the reds, the blues, a bright sunshine yellow. It's just got some really vivid, not usually worn shades. Well, not usually worn for most people, but those of us tuned into this channel, including myself, we aren't your normal person. Out with the spongy. This one up here seems like it's a plum purple, but it's got green flecks. Then you've got a red with blue, a red with gunmetal gray. This one right here has some kind of, whoop, just dug my nail into it, kind of some pink flecks. And then the yellow actually has purple flecks, which is just really, really unusual. This one doesn't seem to have a lot of pigment. Just off what was on my finger, you can somewhat see it, but not overly so. Pick up this red with the blue flecks. That barely went on. You can just barely see it right here. That's really disappointing. I'm really kind of disappointed in these. It shows up better on the tip of my finger than on the back of my hand, which is just really, I mean, that's a second pass. They might be okay over a base, but I don't think so. These are really kind of discouraging. And I picked up like 5 of these, and I'm highly disappointed so far. This one is called Audacious. These, you might need a primer for them to actually pop, but just given their payoff currently, I don't even know if they're going to. This is really kind of depressing. But I guess it's a good thing I'm trying these out for those of you, you know, that want those nice, bright, bold, vivid, day glow eyes like I do. This one seems like it's got a sage green with a few little blue flecks. It's got kind of a brick red with green flecks. It's almost the same color as this one here, but this one actually has more green flecks than this one. So it seems like some of these colors might be dupes. Yeah, I think they are some dupes, which is, again, disappointing. But I'm going to try this kind of coppery shade here in this corner here that has the yellow flecks. It's almost like a flame orange on my finger. And then when I go to actually rub it on the back of my hand, it's practically non-existent. Highly, 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 highly disappointed. It's right there. Unless you have the light shining right on it, you can't even see it. Hardly. Again, you see it better on my finger than you do on the back of my hand. These are just really disappointing. I'm wishing I hadn't bought these. So, unless you just want a subtle pop of color, don't invest in these. They are not worth it. The last one I got, thankfully it's the last one, is called Lively. And it seems like it's predominantly neutral shades. Maybe just a tiny hint of a color. But the base colors are pretty well neutral. The most vivid one in this one, if I can get it open, well, there's two of them. It's these two bottom ones. This one, it looks more yellowy, but it's actually more copper. It's more orange, but it is metallic. And then this one, actually this would be bronze. This would be copper, because it has more of that rosy hue to it. And it actually seems like it's going to be the prettiest color in this one. I really need to bust out a wipe here. But I'm going to try that coppery one. On my finger, it's pretty. On the back of my hand, it actually went on pretty well. You can see it right here at the back of my hand. And it has a little bit of a flash. It's kind of a pretty color. But most of these are rather lackluster. I'll have to go through and swatch every single shadow just to see, you know, if these are going to be worth investing in, or just if they're duds. Just from what I've seen, they're duds. I am not at all impressed with most of these shades. They're supposed to be bold. They're not. Sadly disappointing. Very, 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 very disappointing. Let's see, that was all of those. I picked up some more LA Color stuff, but before I move on to that, they actually had one of the Maybelline Color Tattoo Pure Pigments. And this one is the Forest Fatale, which is a nice, pretty, kind of sage green color. The reason I picked this one up is because of my natural eye color, which is a sage green. If I can even get it open. Thank you. Oh, come on. But this is actually quite pretty. The only thing I don't like about these is it seems like they're packaged upside down. This sticker should be on the bottom. And it is in the little shaker. And just to get the excess off there, you can barely see it on that little tab there. So I'm going to cover the little dots with my thumb. Fail. Did not come out. So, put the cap on, shake some up into the top here. This is actually a really, 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 really pretty color. And you can see the metallicness to that when my light hits it. That is actually really pretty. I just wish they had more than just this one shade, but all they had was this one. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but hey, I love these color tattoos, so it was worth $1. It's worth more than $1. So I don't feel totally gypped on that one. Now moving on back to the LA colors. I got their loose eyeshadows, shimmering eye color with a built-in brush. I've had some of these in the past, not from LA Colors, but from a different brand. I'm going to go ahead and open these up while I'm talking to you guys. But the brushes were kind of jacked up on one of them. I've only got 2 of them. But the brushes were jacked up. I'm curious as to find out if the brushes in these are going to be jacked up. I'm hoping not. But these, they only have, let's see, 6 colors. Some of them are kind of close in shade, but they may go on with varying intensity. One more, which is my favorite one. As long as these things aren't a disappointment, I'm going to love this one. Take off my Maybelline color tattoo. There we go. Draw off the back of my hand on my pants. And I'm going to go down the line. The first one was called, excuse me, Lollipop. They come in a little container like these. You've maybe seen these in the NYC and the old Mary-Kate and Ashley lines. Wow, brush isn't jacked up. I'm impressed. However, the brush is kind of rigid. But hey, at least they're not jacked. And they fit actually snugly down inside these. My other ones do not. But there's the Lollipop Pink. It's got a lot of silver sparkle to it. It's actually pretty. I'm happy with that so far. This one is called Radiant. It's kind of a bronzy shade. But again, these are all super, 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 super shimmery. So if you don't like shimmer colors, these may not be for you. But me, I am all about the glitter. Goes without saying, right? Ooh. WD-40, that sucker. That was shrill. You can see it right here next to the pink. It's a really pretty color. Actually really like that one too. And I kind of like where these brushes are more rigid. They're not super, super soft and fluffy. So you can actually get a little bit more controlled application. This one is called Honeysuckle. It's kind of a champagne shade, I would say. Not really a gold, not really a peach. This would make it actually probably a really good transition color. Maybe even a brow highlight. It's just a very subtle shade. You can barely see it until the light hits it. So that's actually kind of pretty. Alrighty. This one is very reminiscent of Fortune Teller from Makeup Geek, which I do plan on ordering her foil shadows here in the near future. Wow. This one's all up in the jar. But this one is a very, very bright, almost makes me think of an Inca or an Aztec gold. Although it doesn't quite go on as pigmented as Fortune Teller. So if you're wanting a softer gold, it is definitely more subdued. You can see it right here. It's a pretty color, and it's nice and bright gold, but it's not over the top. So that's actually kind of neat. But I would imagine on a base, that sucker would really pop. Ooh, another one needs WD-40. This one was my favorite one. This one is Grape Jelly. This one has a little bit of a jacked up brush. A little bit. Not too bad. Doesn't go on as intense as I thought it might, but on a base it will definitely pop more. But nonetheless, it is a really pretty, sparkly, violety purple. You can see it right here. That is absolutely gorgeous. I really like that one. And then lastly, we have Snow White, which is just that. It's a shimmery white. Wow. This one really likes to grab the brush. We'll put this one up on top here. But again, these are loose powders, so you are going to have to probably use some type of base just so they don't go everywhere, and you might want to use something underneath your eye in case there's any fallout, which there probably will be. But you can just tell my light picks this one up really, really well. But it's a really pretty color. And these are actually, you know, a lot more subdued than maybe how they look on my camera. But they are pretty. So those, I'm actually, you know, somewhat happy with those. Beats the pants off of those bold eyes. Those bold eyes were the pits. Ugh. So mad I bought those. But it's better for me to do the trial and error than you guys. And let's see. The next things I got 3 more things. And believe it or not, they're not cosmetic. I just thought these were really neat. Recently, my holster from my phone broke. So I have to tuck it in my pocket now, and the case that it's got with it was meant for the holster, so I don't think it's going to be as much protection. I actually found 3 Galaxy S4 cases at Dollar Tree. They don't seem, you know, like they're very durable, but they're probably going to be more durable than the one that I've got. And even though I'm not pink, I just loved the glitter on this one. It's just awesome. Then they had another one similar. That one had like the iridescent glitter. This one is more holographic. I just thought that was awesome. They didn't have it in purple though, which is a bummer. But hey, for a buck, I can't complain. But this one was actually purple. I thought it was kind of cool. It will come out of the package. This one, I believe, is going to be like the rubberized case. Yeah, this one's kind of rubbery. But it is clear. But it kind of has that little crystallized pattern. It just feels kind of weird. But it's kind of cool. It's really flexible. But it seems like it's going to take a lot more damage. Well, not really damage, but take a lot better hit and punishment than my current case. It does have a little piece of plastic here I'm going to have to trim off, but that's okay. But my 3 little phone cases I can switch out depending on my mood for a buck a piece. It's not too bad. But anyway, that concludes this video. I'm going to head out of here. I'm hitting my 22-minute mark now. That's enough of my ramblings. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a big old thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. Pass my link on to your friends if you know any other makeup geeks out there like the rest of us. And again, if you want more subtle colors, by all means, feel free to pick up those LA Colors Bold Eyes. But I myself personally, I'm not super impressed. But again, I'll have to try all the shadows in each one just to see, you know, if they're going to be worth picking up overall or not. Just from my current standpoint, they're not. But I only tried a handful. I didn't even try all of them. Nowhere near it. But hit me up on Twitter or Instagram, especially Instagram. I'm more active there than I am on Twitter anymore, at OXGlitterDivaXO, and I will hopefully see you guys soon with a new tutorial. Bye.